Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm in the beautiful village of Bibury, right in the heart of the Cotswolds. In fact, according to a poet, William Morris, who's one of the most famous poets in the UK, apparently he thought this was the most beautiful village in England. So that's a big claim to fame. I'm here today to see exactly why he thought that. So we've come by to a little meadow which is right by a trout farm. So if you look over here, it's actually a trout, which I thought was dead. Well, I actually don't know if it is a trout, but I'm assuming that's what a trout looks like because we're next to a trout farm. And I thought it was dead, but it's actually moving its mouth ever so slowly. It's not very clear though. But yeah, sort of very nice views. There's also an old stone bridge right ahead of us, and I feel like any village in the UK, any decent village in the UK has a stone bridge that looks beautiful, just like that one over there. And in fact, if you look underneath it, you can see a swan making its way through. Conveniently, we're right next to the Swan Hotel, which is just behind these trees. So yeah, convenient that we just saw a swan. So just walking through the village right now, I feel like this village gives me really like sort of quintessential British vibes, don't you think?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if there was like a postcard for like an English village, it'd be something like one of these villages. Just very leafy, very sort of old stone buildings. Not gonna lie, can't see why people thought this was the prettiest village in the UK. Can you?
What, this is the prettiest village in the UK?
Well, it wasn't named that, but apparently some famous poet thought that about this place, and that's what sort of the main thing about this place is, I guess. So this is probably the most famous landmark within Bibury, and that is Arlington Row. This sort of stretch of stone cottages date back to the 13th century, and originally they were owned by the weavers who used to work around here. In fact, this whole area of the Cotswolds was known for its weaving industry, and now it's just become like a national trust property. And yeah, it's just very historic, very sort of your quintessential British sort of village vibes going on here. Apparently this is the most photographed cottages or sets of cottages in the UK, and considering the cottages are about 800 years old, they're actually in pretty decent condition. I mean, look at the roof and like the stone wall, still fairly good condition. Obviously I have no idea how it looks inside, and one thing you should be wary of, there are still people living in these houses, so if you do come to visit here, try not to make too much noise outside of it. I've just come away from Arlington Row. I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a different look of the cottages and sort of just the whole surrounding area. As you can see, it's very quiet, very idyllic. In fact, it's probably too quiet to the point that I probably wouldn't want to live here, but I can imagine when you're a bit older in life, retired, you just want to settle down, this would be a really nice place to live. As I mentioned earlier, another thing you can do whilst you're on Bibury is visit the River Trout Farm. Now, I think it's about £5 or £6 per adult to enter. I'm not going to go there today, but it supposedly has like lots of trout, as you can probably tell by the name. So, and lots of other pieces of wildlife as well. I'm not sure if you can actually catch a trout, but yeah, it just might be a nice place to go with your family. Another thing you should do whilst you're on Bibury, or any other village within the Cotswolds for that matter, is probably visit one of the local cafes. There's loads of cafes around the whole area, and they're really sort of well known for its homemade food. They do all kinds of food, so pastries, cakes, sandwiches and so forth. So make sure you visit one of those cafes. I'm going to go to the one that's right by the Bibury River Trout Farm, and I'll see what it has to offer. My sister got a vegan roll. What do you think of it?
It's alright, just falafel inside.
I got myself a home cooked sausage roll, and yeah, it's pretty good. Not quite Greg's quality, but still pretty decent. Driven up about 20 minutes up the road from Bibury to another town called Stow in the Wold. This town's famous for one particular thing, which I'm about to show you guys. This is probably the most famous spot in Stow in the Wold. It's an old door that dates in the Church of St Edward's, that dates back to the 1300s, and it's flanked by yew trees. Fun fact, Apparently J.R.R. Tolkien used to visit this part of the Cotswolds quite often, and there's a fan theory that apparently that door inspired him to write Lord of the Rings. Now, there's no concrete evidence linking that door to Lord of the Rings, but it's sort of a cool theory, and in my opinion Lord of the Rings is one of the best trilogies of all time, so if that did inspire him to write it, then that's just amazing. So yeah, that was that. Hopefully I've shown you guys why Bibury is considered one of the prettiest villages within the UK, and hopefully I've inspired you to visit here one day, or just the Cotswolds in general. If you have liked this video, make sure you subscribe and like and do all that good stuff. And yeah, as always, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.